I'm the real heiress. And I love competing with the fake heiress for everything, including my fiancé. We ran into bandits on the road who tried to rape us. The bandits made us vote to choose one person to stay behind. My fiancé dumped me. You stay here, you're tough and can handle the rough and tumble. But he got 2 votes all by himself. The fake heiress and I looked up at the sky, feeling guilty. The fake heiress comforted him. You're tougher, you can handle rough treatment better than your sister. I comforted him, too. Duan Lang. Only by following a winding path into a secluded spot can you emerge into a world of bright sunshine and blooming flowers. Serve the great king well, and we'll wait for you at home. Ancient Story Time, Ancient Channel. I hope you all enjoy my stories. Feel free to like and subscribe. After poring over 108 stories about the real and fake heiresses, I kicked open the gate to the Su family mansion. Father, mother, brother, I, Su Baozhu, am back. Their parents had tears welling up in their eyes. Daughter, you've finally agreed to acknowledge us. The 3 of us are reenacting the happy ending of Waiting for You. His older brother, Su Xingzhan, spoke softly to the fake heiress, Su Zhizhi, as if to comfort her. After speaking, he looked up and gave me a slight nod. By way of greeting, Su Zhizhi forced a slight smile. I'm just glad you're back. Sis. I feel wronged. Dad, Mom, does my brother not like me? All of you have cried until your eyes are all puffy. But my brother hasn't shed a single tear. If my brother doesn't like me, I'll just leave. My dad lost his temper and sneakily punched Su Xingzhan in the lower back. Your brother's just shy. Look. His eyes are all red, how could he not like you? I looked at the fake heiress again with anticipation. Su Zhizhi was terrified that her father's iron fist would resort to the same old tricks again. She quickly squeezed out 2 tears to fit the mood. I like my older sister, too. Don't worry, sis. I'll never take anything that belongs to you. That evening, gold, silver, jewels, and fine silks poured into my courtyard like a stream. My parents really treated me and Su Zhizhi equally. But my older brother is biased. Su Zhizhi clung to his arm in a playful, affectionate way, and he really enjoyed it. I clung to his arm and acted all cute, and he said he felt really hurt. I went to my parents to settle the matter. With his arm in a sling, he confronted me, asking, You dislocated my arm and you call that acting spoiled? In short, my brother is just biased. It makes me feel like I'm always a step behind the fake heiress. Su Zhizhi even went out of her way to annoy me. That marriage of yours is mine, too. See? I'm the real apple of this family's eye. I dragged her along to seek justice from my parents. Just then, I ran into my older brother, and after he heard what I had to say, he scowled. Is Duan Qingjin really worth fighting over? If you ask me, neither of you should get married. The 3 parted on bad terms. He just favors Su Zhizhi. Wait until I say I won't marry him, so that Su Zhizhi can marry him. The next day, Su Zhizhi and Duan Qingjin snuck away without me to go on a spring outing outside the city. As soon as I heard that, I flew into a rage and spurred my horse toward the city gates to give chase. I chased her as she ran, winding through the streets. The horse lay exhausted in an unfamiliar mountain hollow. The 2 groups got out of their cars, ready to face off. Unexpectedly, the mysterious lassoer came swooping down from the sky, swinging his lasso. They immediately tied up Su Zhizhi and Duan Qingjin. The man had a rough and tumble look about him, and he said to me, You, come over here yourself. Don't make me lay a hand on you. Me? I turned around and ran for my life. However, the rope seemed to have eyes of its own, and I was caught in the noose as well. A group of grasshoppers was led back to his hideout by the mountain bandits. The bandits praised me. You're pretty strong, you're a real tough pig to pin down. He's definitely better than that effeminate guy. Duan Qingjin tried to bribe him. Hero, if you're after money, just let us go, and we'll give you silver. Su Zhizhi channeling Tang Xing. Listen, every man is born of a mother. We all have a father and a mother. As a child, you can't die before your parents. But I was so hungry I felt lightheaded. Bro, Can't you at least let me have a good meal before I die? The bandit glared at me. Why did you come all the way out here for a picnic? The three of you, don't even think about wasting my food. So, pick one person to stay, and the rest of you can get lost. Duan Qingjin's eyes lit up. Brother, would you let us go? The bandit smacked his lips. Go ahead and vote. Whoever gets the most votes gets to stay and keep this king entertained for a few days. He gathered some charcoal and stones. Write down your names. Whoever gets the most votes gets to stay. We wrote it honestly. Mountain bandits display results. The pig girl has chosen you, young man. Wow, the young master chose you too. It really is a match made in heaven for the two of you. Duan Qingjin explained in a righteous and forceful tone. Ji Mei is frail and unable to care for herself. But you grew up in the mountains and wilderness, so you're tough and can handle rough treatment. My temple twitched. That jerk! Last but not least, here's Su Jiji's. The bandit raised an eyebrow and smiled. Oh, young master, she's chosen you, too. I got 1 vote. Su Jiji got 0 votes. And Duan Qingjin got 2 votes all to himself. Duan Qingjin's eyes widened in shock, and he frantically demanded an explanation from Su Jiji. Ji Mei, did you make a mistake? Come on, just admit you made a mistake. The bandit settled the matter with a single blow. The 2 women leave, you stay. Duan Lang, is that right? Don't worry. I don't kill people, I won't take your life. Just then, the mountain bandit stroked his chin and let out a sly, cackling laugh. Duan Qingjin held his arms across his chest, trembling slightly, a sight that stirred my sympathy. Su Jiji and I looked up at the sky. Feeling guilty, Su Jiji comforted him. Duan Lang, you're tougher than my sister. You can handle more than she can. This man isn't after your money or your life, so you can rest assured and spend a few days with him. I quickly tried to comfort him. Exactly. Exactly, only by following a winding path into a secluded spot can you emerge into a world of new possibilities. Don't resist, we'll wait for you back at the mansion. Before watching us leave, the mountain bandits warned us. In 3 days, I'll let him go home. If you're not afraid of ruining your reputation, go ahead and report it to the authorities. Anyway, once I pull off this heist, I'm off to travel the world, no one's going to catch me. Duan Qingjin was still tied up. Seeing that the 2 of us were really about to leave him behind, he struggled frantically. You can't leave. Why are you letting them go? If you want to keep them, go ahead, let those 2 sisters take care of you. Su Jiji and I looked at him, at a loss for words. I leaned in and whispered in his ear. The bandit boss has his eye on you, and you're still oblivious. Save your energy and focus on protecting your butt. You scumbag! Su Jiji and I said our grateful goodbyes to the mountain bandits. Thank you, big brother, for sparing my life. Enjoy your meal, big brother. We sprinted to Li while our older brother laughed with satisfaction. We walked for 2 hours. I saw that familiar ramshackle hut again. Damn it. I never would have thought we'd end up back here again. I'm so hungry my stomach is touching my back. No way. I've got to go steal something to eat to tide me over. Su Jiji nodded weakly in agreement. The 2 of us were crouched outside that ramshackle hut, munching on cold steamed buns. She couldn't help but ask, why didn't you choose me? I rolled my eyes. I just like stealing things, that doesn't mean this person is a good person. Besides, we share the same last name, he's the outsider. Why didn't you choose me? She suddenly became noble. Women shouldn't make things difficult for other women. I patted her on the head, feeling pleased. She really is my half-sister. She pushed my hand away and said warily, Shoo! Listen, what's that sound? I listened intently. I think I heard someone cursing at us. The noise from the next room was getting louder. It was Duan Qingjin who was cursing under his breath. Su Baozhu, Su Jiji, you 2 wicked sisters. I won't let you get away with this. Next came the rustling sound of clothes rubbing against each other. Duan Qingjin had no time to curse. He exclaimed in terror. Don't come over here. Don't touch me. What are you doing with that rope? Let me go. You filthy scoundrel. You lecher, don't touch me. Then we heard the sound of a whip cracking against meat. The tough guy isn't so tough anymore. No sooner had one wave of crying subsided than another began. Wailing and sobbing. Wailing pitifully. After that, there was a long stretch of grumbling and whining. I took Su Gigi by the hand as we continued to feel our way in the dark. When I get home, I'll have to fill a basin with water and give my ears a good wash, she asked, puzzled. Didn't Duan Lang just get a beating? Why aren't you crying anymore? Why are you still whining? Girls from Beijing really are narrow-minded. I cleared things up for her. Spring has arrived, and all things are coming back to life. After Fei Ge finished beating him up, the two of them were probably just messing around. Su Gigi's eyes widened in shock. Huh? I thought Duan Lang was going to suffer some physical pain. I didn't expect it to be this kind of physical pain. No wonder he let us two beauties go. So that's why he was checking out Duan Lang, that handsome young man. I replied. To each his own. Duan Qingjin may not be a good person, but he saved us by taking advantage of his gender. We'll repay his kindness by keeping his secret. After all, a man who has lost his virginity is like rotten cabbage. If he holds a grudge against us, that would be really bad. We have to find a way to get my parents to call off this engagement as soon as possible. As dawn was breaking, following the tire tracks, the two of us finally found our way. After walking for another half day, they unexpectedly ran into a servant from their household who had come looking for them with some people. The servant was so excited his voice cracked. Young master, you are a genius. You said the two young ladies have no sense of direction and would definitely go the wrong way. I actually found it. Ha ha ha. The two sisters, who had hit rock bottom, finally caught a ride home on a horse. When I got home, my sisterly bond was shattered once again. Because father cares for me, and mother cares for her. He kept things perfectly balanced. But my brother just glanced at me. He was busy whispering words of comfort to Su Gigi. Don't worry. I'm here. I burst into tears, wailing, Dad, Mom, my brother really doesn't like me. He spoke a full 8 words to Su Gigi, but didn't say a single word to me. I'm the only one who doesn't belong here. I'm out. I went back to the village to look for my brothers Dainyu, Shirtu, and Chung. I just can't believe I won't become a brother's darling. I insisted on going back to my room to pack up my valuables. My whole family followed behind me, trying to stop me. Su Gigi said in a playful tone, Sis, I really wasn't trying to compete with you for anything. How about this, you go ahead and marry into the Duan family. His parents were astonished. Gigi, I can't believe you're willing to. I jumped 3 feet in the air. You knew full well he wasn't innocent. Yet you still made me marry him. If you want to get married, go ahead and do it yourself. My mom hit the nail on the head. By the way, why didn't Huayu come back with you guys? Where is he? My dad brought up another key point. What do you mean he's not above board? Is he secretly keeping a mistress? Su Xingjian said in a deep voice. If that's really the case, then this engagement is off. My sister can't marry him. My mother took the items out of my bundle one by one. Bao Zhu, did Huayu actually come back with you guys or not? My father furrowed his brow. Gigi, you tell us. What's going on? Su Gigi said modestly. Sister, you go ahead. I refused. Your fiancé, you tell me. She continued to be modest. You're the one who decided he was playing with his sleeve. You tell us. Me? All right. Then I'll say it. Dad, Mom, Duan Qingjin has caught the eye of some mountain bandits. No sooner had the words left her mouth than Su Gigi, who was usually so ladylike, blurted out. Take out the character. Look. His parents gasped. His brother looked serious. So, is he still stuck in the mountains? Parents. Concerns. Why didn't you say so sooner? We have to send people to rescue him right away. I spread my hands. Neither of us knows the way, so there's no going back. Besides, the bandits said they'd release the hostages in 3 days. I can tell that bandit, he spits out a nail with every word, he'll surely keep his promise. Su Zhizhi and I are united in our opposition to the enemy. That's right, the bandits told us to pick one of the three of us to stay with him. That Duan guy actually told my sister to stay, saying she was tough enough to handle it. It's a good thing the two of us voted for him, so he could make the ultimate sacrifice. After hearing the whole story, Mom and Dad were furious. He actually wanted our precious daughter to take the blow for him. He deserves to have been singled out. My brother said thoughtfully, I've sent people to keep an eye on the city gates and the Duan family. As soon as he gets back, I'll call off the engagement. I wonder what kind of delicious, fragrant, and spicy 3 days Duan Lang spent. On the 4th day, he actually showed up. He simply stayed home, claiming he had a severe cold, and refused to see anyone. My brother spent a fortune to bribe the Duan family's servants. A servant revealed that the Duan family is busy quietly setting up the wedding hall. He said that his young master had gone on a spring outing with the daughters of a wealthy merchant family. Because the carriage got stuck, a man and a woman were forced to spend the entire night alone together. If word gets out, the woman's reputation will be ruined. So the young master plans to marry both sisters. He also said that the betrothal gifts had already been prepared, and all that remained was to choose an auspicious date to pay a visit. 3 deep furrows of worry etched across my parents' foreheads. If he uses this as leverage, Baozhu and Gigi will be swept up in the rumors, and I fear their reputations will be tarnished, making it difficult for them to find suitable husbands. But my brother, looking completely at ease, set down his teacup and smiled, saying, It's all right, I'll report this to the authorities for you. Su Xingzhan knelt in the county magistrate's hall, his expression one of grief and indignation. My 2 younger sisters went out of town for a spring outing and were tragically attacked by bandits in the mountains. That scoundrel acted with utter impunity. He held my sister captive for 3 whole days before letting her go. We implore your honor to investigate this matter thoroughly, apprehend the mountain bandits, and uphold justice for the common people. Outside the hall, there was a buzz of conversation. Oh, both of Mr. Su's daughters met with misfortune? Oh my, that's so tragic. Are those mountain bandits really that brazen? I'm afraid those 2 young women have lost their virtue. The county magistrate slammed his gavel down. Your complaint does not specify where you encountered the mountain bandits. Were your 2 younger sisters held captive for only 3 days? Did they suffer any other hardships? Words alone aren't enough evidence. Go summon the 2 women involved and have a midwife examine them. Su Zhizhi and I followed the midwife into the inner chamber. Midwife's examination. There are slight bruises on her wrists from the rope. Other than that, there are no injuries. The vermilion mark is still there. The midwife reported the matter to the county magistrate. The county magistrate rebuked us as we knelt beside our older brother. You 2 are completely innocent. How can your older brother just spout off like that in court? Su Xingzhan, did that robber really exist? If you falsely reported the incident, don't blame this official for punishing you with a beating. The Imperial Guards, stern and impartial, were about to drag my brother away to be executed. In a panic, I pleaded with the county magistrate. I beg you, Your Honor, to spare my brother. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Su Zhizhi threw herself in front of her brother. Please spare my life. Your Honor. Sister, let's just tell the truth. Even if Mr. Duan's reputation is at stake, if His Honor the judge were to crack down on the bandits, it would be an act of immense kindness for countless young men. It's also a way for Duan Ling to accumulate good deeds and virtue. I spoke through my tears. Sir, the bandit is real, but he's taken 3 people hostage. In fact, the one who was actually humiliated was Mr. Duan Qingjin, who was traveling with us. My sister and I were released that very day. Duan Ling, however, was humiliated by that villain for 3 full days and lost his virtue. He's lost his will to live, and his personality has changed drastically. We hated those mountain bandits, but we also wanted to protect his reputation, so we lied and said we were the ones who had been humiliated. I never would have thought that His Honor the magistrate had such a keen eye. The county magistrate stroked his beard proudly. Humph. Lies can't escape this official's keen eyes. Someone, go fetch Duan Qingjin. Amid the buzz of conversation, Duan Qingjin arrived late. Ah, so this is the one. He really is quite striking, no wonder. 3 days, a full 3 days. I saw him walking so unsteadily he was practically floating. TSK. TSK. In court, Duan Qingjin flatly insisted that the two of us had been molested by bandits. He claimed he was being kind enough to marry the two of us, 2 women past our prime, only to be slandered. He shouted that he wanted the county magistrate to see that justice was done for him. The county magistrate had a sudden insight. Coroner, take your men down there to identify the body. As soon as those words were spoken, the entire hall erupted in commotion. How do you test men? Oh my. 3 days and 3 nights. If that's true, there's bound to be marks on my body. Besides, the coroner examined the young master of Nanfeng Pavilion's injuries. He's a seasoned pro. One look at his butt and it's all clear. Duan Qingjin struggled violently. My body and every part of me are gifts from my parents. Don't even think about laying a finger on me. The palace guards escorted him to the inner chambers. There was a clanging and clattering noise. Overhearing the people whispering to one another. You're all grown men, why are you putting up such a fierce fight? Yeah, just think of it as taking off your pants to use the outhouse. I think there's definitely something fishy going on. Those mountain bandits really did me in. When we're out and about, we've got to make sure we stay faithful to our wives back home. Duan Qingjin, who had been flayed, was led out of the inner chamber. Filled with shame and rage, the coroner reported rather carelessly. Your Honor, there are clear signs of binding on young Master Duan's body. His chest and back were covered with a dense network of whip marks. The anus, there's a clear tear in the anus. Everyone gasped. Duan Qingjin retorted frantically. Bullshit. I'm not. I didn't. Don't make things up. That was the day before yesterday. I fell the day before yesterday and accidentally sat on a sharp rock. Which is how I got hurt. The marks on my body, yes. I made them myself. Just to stay alert while studying. No one believed him. The county magistrate looked at him with sympathy and regret in his eyes. Everyone couldn't help but glance at his backside. After all, bandits who steal flowers are nothing out of the ordinary. But the bandits who were gathering herbs were quite curious. The county magistrate questioned us about the mountain bandits' appearances, saying he wanted his legal advisor to draw their portraits so they could be posted as wanted notices. Su Zhizhi shook her head. He was wearing a mask, had what sounded like a Beijing accent, and was 8 chi tall. Duan Lang, do you remember what he looked like? I cautiously pressed Duan Qingjin for answers. Duan Lang, you've slept in the same bed for 3 nights in a row. Surely you must have seen his true face by now? Duan Qingjin looked like he wanted to pounce on me and strangle me, but he managed to hold himself back. Su Baozhu, if you keep spouting nonsense and making false accusations, I won't let you off the hook. I looked at him sadly. Duan Lang, even though that memory is painful, I hope you'll reflect on it carefully. After all, the safety of countless travelers is at stake. You wouldn't want anyone else to make the same mistake you did, would you? After a long silence, my older brother suddenly asked, Could it be that the two of you have developed real feelings for each other? You don't want to expose him? Duan Qingjin jumped to his feet and shouted angrily. You're the one who actually has real feelings for him. Damn it! That scoundrel wears a mask even when he goes to bed. How am I supposed to know what he looks like? An eerie silence hung over the classroom, both inside and out. He belatedly realized he had said the wrong thing, and slumped to the ground, his lips trembling. There were no sketches of the bandits, nor were any traces of them found. Although the incident caused quite a stir, it ultimately fizzled out. Duan Qingjin became the most controversial celebrity in Beijing. To our surprise, Mr. Duan's mother suddenly invited us sisters to come and admire the lotus flowers. A spy infiltrating his household brought back news and instructed, Ladies, you must not go to that meeting under any circumstances. That malicious mother and son are furious that you've tarnished the Duan family's reputation. I've found a crude stable hand who's going to knock you both out at the lotus viewing banquet. He said that first that man surnamed Duan defiled your honor, and then handed you over to the stable hand to be humiliated. Mrs. Duan will bring guests to catch you in the act. This will break the engagement, so that we'll have to pay his family double the betrothal gift. My brother crushed the cup in his hand, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Then let him know what happens to anyone who crosses the Sioux family. Go ahead and enjoy the lotus viewing banquet to your heart's content. I rushed to bandage my brother's hand, but he wouldn't let me go up there. He would only let Su Gigi help. The girl was about to start crying. He pinched my nose into a duck-like beak. Keep that handkerchief you used to wipe the dog's face away from me. Next time, you'll have to wrap it up yourself. Oh, I forgot this handkerchief hasn't been washed yet. Garlic bird, let's give Su Gigi the chance to shine first. Lady Duan personally welcomed my sister and me into the mansion. During the meal, a maid brought out some lotus flower wine. She raised her glass. This is a special brew from my home. Bao Zhu, Gigi, why don't you try it and see if you like it? Before long, Su Gigi and I were supporting each other. Mrs. Duan, we're not feeling well. It feels like we've eaten something that didn't agree with us. Where's your outhouse? She gave the maid a meaningful look. Go with the maidservant and rest for a while. It will surely help you feel a little better. The two of us were led to a small room in the backyard. As soon as I walked in, I was shoved onto the bed by that rough-and-tumble maid. The two of them lay down neatly side by side. I heard a noise at the door. Squinting, I saw Duan Qingjin come in and lock the door. He looked at the two of us, who were unconscious. The resentment in his heart grew even stronger. Today, I'm going to let you all get a good taste of what I'm capable of. I will repay every bit of the humiliation I suffered over the past 3 days. His lecherous hand was just about to grab the collar of my shirt. I sprang to my feet and pulled the rope from my bosom to tie him up. Su Gigi took the opportunity to slip the stronger version of the sedative and aphrodisiac into the water bottle, then pried open his mouth and forced him to drink it. The top performer at the South Wind Club, who had been hiding in the shadows, made an appearance. They exchanged glances. They were people my sneaky older brother had paid to hire. My brother is right. Leave professional matters to the professionals. The top performer's name is Xiao Zhuliu. As agreed, they tied our hands and feet, gagged us, blindfolded us, and left us there. Then he went off to eat all the food by himself. Just listening to the sounds, it's truly a feast for the ears. 1 hour later, the stable hand arrived on time to take over. He quietly unlocked the door and saw the room in disarray. Take off running and go find Mrs. Duan. Madam, at the Sioux residence, those two sisters are tied up inside a room, and a bandit is abusing them. He hadn't even finished saying the word young master. Mrs. Duan then began to shout loudly. What? Someone actually dared to commit a crime in broad daylight right here in my mansion? Everyone, follow me so we can arrest that adulterous couple. This is absolutely outrageous. Seeing that things were taking a turn for the worse, the stable hand quickly ran off. Mrs. Duan, in high spirits, led a group of people to catch the adulterers in the act. As I pushed open the door, I happened to see Duan Qingjin, who had just woken up after tossing and turning, clinging to the man's waist and moaning softly. Xiao Zhuliu tied his sash neatly, looking every bit the part. But Duan Qingjin didn't have a single thread on him. Mrs. Duan was struck as if by lightning. Who are you to dare mistreat my son? Xiao Zhuliu casually reached out toward her. Oh, so you're his mom? That guy ordered my in-home service, time to settle the bill. I'm the top performer at the South Wind Pavilion, 500 taels of silver. Pay up! Finally, one of the guests noticed that Su Gigi and I were still tied up and abandoned in the corner. After everyone pitched in to rescue us, I was deeply saddened. Madame Duan, Mr. Duan is on friendly terms with that man, yet he expects us sisters to listen to him. Such a quirk must surely be something that developed only after they became bandits. His lack of purity is a minor issue, but his attraction to men is something my sisters absolutely cannot accept. As for the engagement between the two families, we'll ask our parents to call it off as soon as we get back. I also ask all of you, the audience, to bear witness. Lady Duan snapped out of her daze and slapped Duan Qingjin several times. Men are becoming a little more level-headed. You're the ones who did this to me. It was the Sioux sisters who drugged me. And that stranger over there, stop him. Until we figure this out. No one is leaving. Xiao Zhiliu folded his arms. Go ahead. Report it to the authorities. Let the authorities look into our situation thoroughly. You all saw that just now, right? He was the one holding me back and not letting me leave. Now that you've caught us, you're turning your back on us? Duan Qingjin was holding the corner of the blanket while people gathered around to stare at him. It was truly embarrassing. Get out! All of you! Get out! Xiao Zhiliu strolled leisurely out the door and urged Lady Duan. If you don't settle your bill within 3 days, Nanfeng Restaurant will send someone to your door to collect it. If it's not settled in 5 days, we'll see each other at the magistrate's office. Su Xingjian escorted us back to the mansion. Duan Qingjin was shouting that he was going to settle the score with us. But he takes too long to get dressed. By the time we arrived at our family home, my parents had already prepared the documents to call off the engagement. He won't sign. Since you broke off the engagement, you must pay me double the betrothal gift. My dad chuckled. Huayu, you have to keep the betrothal gift. Your wild behavior has scared my daughter so much that she's developed a fear of men. I have to save the dowry to pay for my daughter's medical treatment. Duan Qingjin loses his temper. You're talking nonsense. There's no such thing as misandry. My mother took out her medical case book. Ever since that incident with the mountain bandits, my 2 daughters haven't been able to sleep at night. I'm always complaining that your haunting voice is ringing in my ears. If you don't admit it, we'll go to the authorities to settle this. I hear there's a banquet today with many guests in attendance. I'm sure they can all vouch for my daughter. Who wouldn't be a little traumatized after seeing that scene? In the end, he meekly signed the document. Before leaving, he declared that he would go all out against the Sioux family. Just you wait. I'll definitely be back. Duan Qingjin turned humiliation into strength. I plan to become a detective and uncover the truth about what happened on the day of the lotus viewing banquet. He scraped together the last of the family's money. Carrying a large sum of money, he stormed into the Nanfeng Pavilion, filled with righteous indignation. I want to see the top performer. After finishing my evening meal, I strolled over to my brother's courtyard. In the flickering candlelight, I saw my brother and another man sitting across from each other, drinking. Lately, I can't stand seeing 2 men in the same room. He was afraid his older brother would go down the same path as Duan Qingjin. I tore a hole in the window paper with my finger and peeked in silently. To everyone's surprise, the man turned out to be Xiao Zhiliu. Oh my goodness! Is my brother really gay? Xiao Zhiliu, slightly tipsy. Brother Su, I didn't expect there to be a follow-up to this deal. My brother's voice was deep. What's the matter? A man and some silver delivered right to your doorstep. Aren't they to your liking? Why did you come looking for me today? Xiao Zhiliu said. It's all because of that guy Qingjin. He followed me all the way to Nanfeng Pavilion and cornered me there. They pressed me about what happened that day, asking if I'd been bribed by your 2 younger sisters to treat him so harshly. His older brother poured him another glass. Oh, Baozhu and Gigi got into a fight that day. You won't be able to keep it a secret for long. If he asks again, just answer if you want to. It's a great chance to squeeze some money out of him. How nice. Xiao Zhiliu patted his chest. All right. Don't worry, I've got it under control. I'm just trying to sweet-talk him. It's not like it'll cost me anything. Look at me, I've really been racking my brain for your sake and your sisters. Poor me, first I have to play a bandit, and now I have to play the leading lady. The older brother said. What's the matter? Isn't it your life's goal to date every scumbag under the sun? Xiao Zhiliu scratched his head. I just didn't expect these jerks to have such a wide variety of ways to be jerks. Out in the mountains, that bastard would have loved to leave your sister behind while he made a run for it himself. Now that his reputation is in tatters and his pockets are empty, he really has it coming. So, how's your quest to win her back coming along? Has your sister, that blockhead, figured it out yet? My brother didn't say a word. He just kept drinking. My eyes widened, and in my panic, I ran straight into the window. Su Xingjian took me captive and brought me into the house. Xiao Zhiliu clapped his hands with a smile. Did you hear that? Bao Zhu, little sister, I bet you never expected this, your brother. That beast. I was so scared my face went pale. Bro, we share the same father and mother, our bond is closer than pure gold. Even though I'm always hanging around you, I only have pure sibling feelings for you. No matter how much you like me, you can't make me call myself sister-in-law. If mom and dad found out, they'd probably beat us to death. Su Xingjian gave me a tap on the head. Don't be ridiculous. You're my sister. A friendly reminder from Xiao Zhiliu. Bao Zhu. Your so-called adopted younger sister is actually your sister-in-law. Phew. The orthopedic crisis is over. I let out a sigh of relief, wrapped an arm around my brother's neck, and said excitedly, Bro, why didn't you say so sooner? That's great. Once Su Zhizhi becomes my sister-in-law, I'll be the only little sister in this family, ha 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 ha. Xiao Zhiliu finished his last glass. All right, I'm heading back. Your ex-fiancé's still sitting there looking miserable, waiting outside my door all day long. He wants me to clear up his doubts and answer his questions. I'd better go back and deal with this properly. Duan Qingjin finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Seeing how sincere he was, Xiao Zhiliu actually told him the truth. That day, I did indeed take some silver and hide at your house. The person paying me said that as long as I pretend to be having an affair with you, I'll get a reward. I never would have thought you'd be so determined to uncover the truth. Xiao, may be a scoundrel, but if you need me to cross-examine on your behalf, I suppose I could do it. Duan Qingjin was overcome with excitement. Brother Xiao, are you really willing to be my witness and go to the county magistrate's office to prove my innocence that day? Do you have any conditions? Xiao Zhiliu, the model of integrity and righteousness, said, Let me help you take down those wicked sisters from the Su family, consider it my way of making amends. You don't have to pay any more for it. Duan Qingjin sent a provocative note to the Su family. There were only 3 words written there. See you in court. My sister and I followed the court official into the courtroom and knelt before the judge once more. Duan Qingjin was full of vigor and enthusiasm. Your Honor, on that day, there were traces of a drug in the wine jug at my home. This serves as physical evidence. Xiao Zhiliu, who's been hanging out with me, will testify on my behalf. He can prove that he was bribed by the Su sisters that day to deliberately tarnish my reputation. The legal advisor explained to the county magistrate. Sir, we have indeed detected sleeping potions and aphrodisiacs in that teapot and in considerable quantities. The county magistrate questioned Xiao Zhiliu, who had also been summoned. Xiao Zhiliu, tell us the truth, how did the Su sisters bribe you? And how did you frame Duan Qingjin? Xiao Zhiliu sighed. Sir, can I be honest? Duan Qingjin encouraged him. Brother Xiao, speak freely, the magistrate will see that justice is done for us. Xiao Zhiliu sighed in frustration. Duan Lang, I've come to terms with it, even though you stayed behind at the academy to keep me company for so long. But I can't just make things up. Your Excellency, the medicine that day was administered by Duan Qingjin himself. He also had me tie up the Su sisters, saying it was for fun. I didn't find out until later that he had been kidnapped by mountain bandits. I suppose I must bear some resemblance to a mountain bandit. He just can't seem to get enough of me. He kept pestering me so much that I finally agreed to it while we were in bed. I earnestly beg your honor, for the sake of my honest confession, not to punish Duan Lang too severely. Seeing no hope of turning the tide, Duan Qingjin charged forward and landed a punch on Xiao Zhiliu. Once again, they were separated by the court guards. I interjected, saying, My lord, we all understand how much Duan Lang is suffering. He's gotten himself into a rut these days. Although he's always bad-mouthing us sisters, at least he hasn't made any major mistakes. Please, your honor, have mercy. The county magistrate scolded him for his foolish behavior and made it clear that if it happened again, he would not let him off lightly. Our group was kicked out of the government office. The crowd still hadn't dispersed. They were probably hoping for a sequel. Our older brother stood in front of us sisters to protect us. Duan Qingjin couldn't get close. He was stamping his feet like a hooligan. If you're capable of poisoning someone, then you're capable of admitting it. Su Xingjian gave him a cold stare. Okay. I admit it, I did it all. I was the one who found the mountain bandits. I was the one who laced the drink with the drug. And I was the one who set up Xiao Zhiliu. Are you satisfied now, young Master Duan? Duan Qingjin was overjoyed. Listen, he admitted it himself, it was the Su family who did it. Everyone, you've got to back me up. The people looked at him with sympathy. Wow, that's really shocking, going crazy right out in the open like that. It's so scary that a man would act like this after losing his virginity. If you don't have anything to do, it's best to stay home as much as possible and go out as little as possible. Su Zhizhi and I both looked completely innocent. Duan Lang, though our marriage is not to be, our bond of friendship remains. Be a good boy and go home to see a doctor. Xiao Zhiliu folded his fan. Go home? He's coming with me. Lately, he's been hogging my room at Nanfeng Pavilion for quite some time, and he still hasn't paid his bill. The steward told me to take him back to work as a servant to pay off his debt. Duan Qingjin burst out cursing. You bastard. Xiao Zhiliu. How dare you lie to me? I'm not going back with you. Two strong men from the South Wind Pavilion followed him and, without a word, dragged him away. It's only natural to pay back what you owe. We're sending our top girl to be with you, and you still want to get it for free? No matter who comes. You're in the wrong. It said he kept the top courtesan occupied for a total of 3 days. The daily rate for a private screening is 500 taels. Mrs. Duan scraped together 300 taels. To save up the remaining 200 taels, he would only need to work for another 8 lifetimes. The South Wind Pavilion enforced very strict discipline among its servants. Duan Qingjin had his leg broken after his 3rd escape attempt. Xiao Zhiliu had already slipped away. Before leaving, I gave him some advice. You're quite a looker. If you're willing to go all out to become the top performer, you still have a chance. Duan Qingjin suddenly saw the light and resolved to work hard. He really did become the top performer. But later, he contracted a serious illness and was sent back to his biological mother to be raised there until he died. Even after everything that's happened, I never would have thought he'd still be so obsessed with getting revenge. That day, the 3 of us siblings were returning from a day out. At the entrance to the Su residence, he was spotted by Duan Qingjin, who was in disguise. With a menacing glint in his eyes, he lunged at me with a dagger, aiming for my back. Su Zhizhi pushed me aside and stood in front of me. Her brother pushed Su Zhizhi aside and stood in front of her. I got up from the ground and kicked him hard enough to knock him out. My brother clutched his side as blood spread across it. A servant from the governor's residence came out upon hearing the news and took the assailant to the magistrate's office. I get a little queasy at the sight of blood, so my brother and I were carried into the mansion together. When I woke up, my parents told me that my older brother had only suffered some bruises and scrapes and was fine. I went to his room to check on him. There, Su Zhizhi, her eyes blurred with tears, was snuggled in her brother's arms, sobbing. Meanwhile, my sneaky older brother gave me a look that said, "Get lost." All right. So the playing the victim tactic worked to win her back. My parents were delighted with this turn of events. I smiled kindly. Su Zhizhi, from now on, you'll be my sister-in-law. Late at night, I lay awake, tossing and turning. When I stepped outside, I found these 2 on the roof, holding hands and gazing at the stars and the moon. I climbed up with a pig's trotter in my mouth and squeezed my way into the middle. Brother, sister-in-law, why didn't you invite me along? I'm the only daughter in my family who's Amama's girl, Daddy's girl, Big Brother's girl, and sister-in-law's girl. You guys have to be nicer to me. Okay. My brother thought I was talking too much, so he pushed me down. I didn't leave. I saw him sneak a kiss with Su Zhizhi. My brother is such a jerk.